I don't see myself losing to Leonidas.
He's going to probably be nerfed in terms of his trash talk as he's in China. We don't want to have him sent into some sort of jail there. So he's got to limit the F bombs, most likely. Who knows what's going to go on with that?
I think this is going to be a lesson for Leonidas.
Matt Mask is seeming super confident going into this match with Leonidas. He said his initial reaction upon being offered the match is, "Are you sure Leonidas is going to be ready for this match?" He said he pulled him several years ago, but he doesn't think that he's got enough experience since then to be able to beat Matt. But I think people are sleeping on Leonidas. I personally am not. He wants to get into the rankings at 115, and I know this isn't the division that Matt Mask likes to compete in. He says he really just wants to stick around 105, but he won't turn down a match even if he's pulling somebody at a heavier body weight.
Just fucking doing weights that most humans couldn't even fucking fathom thinking of lifting, and they see me, that's just some skinny fucking dude, tall, lanky, and they think, oh, Leonidas got him, right? So, arm wrestling math is different than weightlifting math. So I think a lot of people are excited about it, and I hate to disappoint them, but I think this is going to be a lesson for Leonidas on the aspects of actual arm wrestling technique and everything else that's involved with it. So I hope he comes in more prepared than I think he's going to be able to be. But
I think Leonidas is a problem, especially if he developed a smart game plan going into this match. It looks like Matt's susceptibility is in the hook. If somebody can get him on his bicep inside, that's where he's not as strong as somebody trying to top roll. Because how are you going to top roll a guy with a hand like that unless you have a ridiculous hand? Even Devin has struggled top rolling him in the past. At least initially, he'd have to wear him out first and then be able to start to take his hand. But Matt Mask, one of the most explosive guys, his hand control, his leverage is very difficult to deal with. So I think that I'm sure Leonidas has been watching a lot of footage of him to try and develop a game plan. Not sure if he's going to shoot in directly for a hook, or is he going to try to go completely outside and get a stop in the King's move. That was one of the things Matt mentioned in the podcast, is that if you were to give advice to Leonidas, which is like, why would you give advice to your opponent before the match either way, unless it's fake advice? But he says, try and go for a King's move. Just hold on to your bicep, drop down in the bicep, because you're not going to contest center table at the start, basically, was some of the advice he was giving. But I think maybe going in the hook would be a better option if Leonidas has prepared some type of offensive hook or some way to avoid the hand of Matt Mask. But this podcast showed Matt is very confident. He's going to probably be nerfed in terms of his trash talk as he's in China. We don't want to have him sent into some sort of jail there. So he's got to limit the F bombs, most likely. Who knows what's going to go on with that? But hopefully he's not completely nerfed, because we love to see the intensity of Matt Mask. I put up a poll the other day. Who brings the most mentally unhinged state of mind when competing in an arm wrestling match? Matt Mask was definitely one of the most voted people, other than Devin, of course. But I mean, any poll you have Devin in, he's probably going to be the one winning the poll. But I mean, other notable mentions are like Wagner Bortolato, people like that. Like, let's look at some of the comments. Matt Mask is a wild horse. Enough said. It's Matt Mask for sure, not Devin. Dude goes completely bonkers every match. So, yeah, like I said, hopefully he doesn't get nerfed too badly, being that it's in China. He's got to abide by certain behaviors, maybe. Who knows? But Mask is a loony bin up there. Devin just likes to talk. Let's finish this little clip here. I think there was something interesting that was said.
I don't see myself losing to Leonidas. So unless I let him get what he wants, I don't see it happening. So I think it's and you know what, I could be wrong. maybe Leonidas has progressed way more than I ever could have imagined. But I think right now, I think it's too soon. I think it's too soon for him. So, but it's what the fans want to see. So
Is it too
let's give them
soon,
what they fucking want. So
Leonidas? Is it too soon?
I don't disagree with what you say, Matt. It's true. Like weightlifting and arm wrestling is something completely different. I totally agree with you. And with that being said, I've seen the gym the last 6, 7 months from the inside for bodybuilding, uh, maybe like 3 or 4 times. So, well, I think my advantage in that case might be that I've already been strong, and just to, so my issue was like bringing it everything together, and finally understand more and more like how to train, how to feel, and get the connections right. And
I'll cut the clip there. Basically, the advantages for Leonidas is that Matt Mask is probably not going to fill out the weight class. He says he has a hard time putting on weight. He's around 238 pounds right now, is what he said. The weight cap is 253 because it's 115 kilograms. But also, it's a disadvantage for Leonidas. He has to cut weight to make that weight. He said he's going to do a water cut the week before the event, so he still has, I believe it was 12 kilograms to go or something like that, so he still has some weight to lose. So Matt mentioned he wants a match with Michael Todd at 105 kilograms, potentially in December in Las Vegas, but in general, he just wants that title shot at 105, which 80% of people think Michael Todd would win that match. Huge favorite with this King's move, that it would be able to stop Matt and he wouldn't have enough endurance, I think is what most people would think, would have Michael Todd as the favorite. But overall, entertaining podcast. Watch it. I'll put the link in the description. We're 3 weeks away from this event. Let me know if you think Leonidas or Matt Mask is going to win in the comment section, guys, and hit like and subscribe.